Welcome, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Holding Down the Fort, a podcast show where we put military spouses and children's needs front and center so that they can make informed decisions together as a family. Because let's face it, we know who's really holding down the fort. I'm Jen Amos, a veteran spouse and Gold Star daughter, and your host for today's show. Let's get started. You listening to the first episode of Holding Down the Fort. You're probably a linear person like me who likes to listen to things in chronological order, or maybe someone who was looking for the "what's the show about" episode. However you identify, I'm glad you're here. A lot has changed since this first episode has been published. I highly recommend that you check out the first episode of Season 2 to get the most updated description of our show. Until then, I guess I'll briefly repeat myself for you. Our show began in summer 2019 out of a desire from my team at US Vet Wealth and myself to bridge the gap between financial education for military spouses. It's not a surprise to many when we say that military families are far from the average American family. While on active duty, families learn resilience, resourcefulness, time management, organizational skills, flexibility, delayed gratification, and of course, how to establish a new normal after every PCS. These are all the traits I had acquired as a military child and now attribute to the work I do as a Gold Star daughter, a veteran spouse, and an advocate for military families. My hope for the show, Holding Down the Fort, is to do my part to make the lives of active duty military spouses' lives easier by curating knowledge, resources, and relevant stories so you can continue to make confident and informed decisions for your family. Because, let's face it, we know who's really holding down the fort. As I mentioned, the most latest updates can be found in Season 2, Episode 1. I encourage you all to jump to that episode and also engage with us. You can visit our new website, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com, where you can get all of our latest episodes and see how you can connect with us via social media, such as Instagram on Holding Down the Fort Podcasts. You can also subscribe to our newsletter or simply email us at holdingdownthefortpodcast@gmail.com. Last but not least, this show is brought to you by our company, US Vet Wealth. While most financial advisors help you plan for retirement, we help you plan for who you want to become in post-military life. At US Vet Wealth, we help military families actually capitalize on their transition and leverage the benefits to create true wealth and, rather than wait for retirement, learn how to lead a life of service. You can learn more about our company at usvetwealth.com. With that said, please enjoy this first recording I did with my husband from summer 2019. The first recording for the show ever. Please don't laugh. Enjoy. Hi everyone, my name is Jen Amos and I'm the host of Holding Down the Fort podcast show. I'm also a Gold Star daughter and veteran spouse. I'm married to Scott Tucker, who's right here with me.
Hi everybody, my name is Scott. I am a West Point graduate and turned serial entrepreneur. So excited to be on the show with you, Jen.
Yes, he's also a veteran, hence why I call myself a veteran spouse, because we met after his service. And we want to welcome you to the first episode of Holding Down the Fort. And this episode is really to just go over what the show is about, the purpose of it, what we'll cover, and have you guys get acquainted with us. So the purpose of the show is to engage with military spouses and military families about modern financial education, resources, and opportunities so that you can make informed short-term and long-term decisions for your family. Because let's face it, we know who's really holding down the fort. We also want to make this a platform for military families to have their stories and struggles be heard. And so I want to have Scott here talk a little bit about why we believe that this is so important to put military families and military spouses front and center.
Well, Jen, it really goes back to a couple of years ago when we first met Stephanie Brown from the Rosie Network, and she was telling us about her mission. and that it really comes down to the fact that there's major underemployment issues when it comes to military spouses, and as we learn more and more about that issue, we discovered it's more than just underemployment. There's just a complete lack of information, and we're just left in the dark. And that it's not just the spouse; it's the family, and so therefore the service member is also affected. And it just doesn't make any sense, because there's tremendous resources out there. There's tons of skills and opportunity, and a lot of it's just being wasted based on this is how we've always done it approach. And so we're in a new day and age. There's new tools, technology, ways of working with money, getting jobs, understanding benefits, whatever it might be. It's just, we don't need to be in the dark anymore. We can use things like podcasts, YouTube, the internet, LinkedIn, whatever it is, to spread this information, find the people that it's meant for, and realize that not everybody just has to fall in under the dependent status, and therefore we're all just lumped into the same situation.
Yes, and so throughout the show, we will be covering a couple of things. That we'll be doing is bringing on industry experts to answer any burning questions you have about military benefits, transition, and so much more. Essentially, whatever questions you have as a military spouse and as a military family that you feel like you're not getting, or maybe you're in a position where you feel like you're just constantly getting secondhand information from the service member, we want to be able to provide that to you firsthand. And so part of that as well is addressing relevant current events, such as the blended retirement system, and also just having your stories come front and center, as I mentioned earlier on.
Great. Well, I'm real excited to be on the show here with you, my lovely wife Jen, and with all of you. We think the time has come to needs to stop with that, where we're just going through the motions and not really understanding how to maximize what it means to serve in the United States of America in the modern age. So look forward to sharing that information and developing a relationship with you, a dialogue. Like, come back, ask us your questions, and let us know what we should be talking about, or the types of people we should be having on the show. So we look forward to getting started with you, and see what we talk about in the next episode.
Yes, we're really excited, and we just want to thank you in advance for joining us on this new show and journey, and we hope that we can figure this out together and hopefully live a life of intention while we are in service and after service. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next show.
Tell a friend.
Yes, please share.